John Wayne B.
Yeah. Yeah. Look. Too hot, the haters know they can't fade us. Headed to the top, just stay tuned for the latest. Soon as the episode drop, they gotta play us. All I know is we got the flavor.
What's up? It's your boy Los, LOS from the Flava Podcast. You are listening and watching the Flava Podcast. It is a beautiful day on this Sunday. Man, I did not go to church. I have been in the studio all day waiting for the guests to get here. I am ecstatic about the guest that's going to be here today. The guest that you're going to see here today, he's coming. He took a drive to be here, and I love the man for this. He got in the car and drove to a different state to be on this podcast to tell you what he has. It's going to be an amazing, amazing interview today. But I got a hot topic for you. The hot topic is not Diddy. We're not going to go Diddy. We're going to leave Diddy alone today. All right? It's not Trump. We're going to leave that guy alone too. You know, we're not going to talk about everything that he's been doing. It's bananas. We're going to talk about, we have a new pope. That's right. We have a new pope. He goes by the name of Pope Leo, I think it's the 14th. His real name was Robert Francis Purvest, if I said that right. But guess what? He comes from the Chi-Town, baby. He comes from the Chi. He was born in the Chi. But then again, let me say this. He can't claim Chi, even though he was born in the Chi. He was raised in the suburb, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to give him that because he's the pope. He was born in 1955. Check this out, y'all. His father is French and Italian, right? But his mama is Latina. Boy, then we got a Latino as a pope and the first American pope. That's right. It's coming to you right now. The first American pope is Latino. So check it out. We're going to end this hot topic right now, and in a few moments, you're going to see our guest. Let's go. Your boy Los. And we are back. What's up? Yo, what I forgot to say earlier is that y'all don't see Liz. Liz ain't here. She's a little bit under the weather, so she ain't gonna be here this weekend, but she'll be back next weekend. Liz, get well. Your boy loves you. All right? Get better. But right now, I gotta do something. Because something just changed in the room. Something just happened in the room where it's too bright in here. It's mega bright in here. So I gotta take these guys off right here, and I gotta put these guys on because it just got bright. It just got mad bright. You know, I gotta be ready for the shine that's coming right now. I gotta introduce my guy, all the way from Wisconsin. He is the creator, the founder of the Puerto Rican festival that started underneath a bridge years ago. He's right across from me. His name is Yussef Morales.
Nice to meet you, bro. I appreciate you having me. When you said shining, I thought I had my hat off. I was like, is he talking about a bald head, man? A bald head come in here. I appreciate you, bro, man. It's nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me. It's nice just to be in Chicago, man. It's just the vibe here is a lot different. It's a lot live, and just coming down here, you know, it gives you that refresher, man. When you come down from Milwaukee's amazing. It's a great city, but it's nothing like coming to Chicago. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Chicago's definitely colorful.
Yeah, it is, man.
The colors just get brighter. But that's all right because you're bringing some color into Milwaukee. You're bringing some mega color. And people are coming from around the world to your festival. Yep. But before we talk about that festival that everyone's going to come down to, we're going to talk a little bit about yourself. All right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's do it. That's why I'm here.
So Yussef, where do you get the name Yussef from? Where did it come
bro,
from?
Listen, my mom. She studied a lot of religions and like books, man. My mom was the mom, and that's the story behind the name. We had encyclopedias, man. And my mom would buy for us to read about angels and all that. But she was, she was into a lot of things, a lot of reading, and that's why I think my brother's name is Yafet, my sister's name is Shahed. And then the youngest is Jimmy. He got stuck with the regular Jimmy name. But yeah, they're all Arabic names, man, that my mom got from just reading books. And there's also a big community of Muslims in Puerto Rico. Okay. We're not Muslim or anything like that. I have a lot of Muslim friends thanks to my name. I got the hookup at the gas station and the liquor store everywhere. But yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's where she got the name. It was Arabic. She was reading a lot of books. Later on in life, then I started kind of knowing what the name was and all that other thing. There's a movie about the name, but yeah, man.
Isn't that movie?
It's like a 4-hour movie.
The one that was just done in New York.
There's a couple of them out there.
Ship, Yussef.
Yeah. No, but there's like
that one?
Now there's a big one, man, that all the Arabic people always be like, you should watch it. It's a 4-hour movie. It's a 4-hour movie. And I'm not taking no credit, but he was the most handsome man in the world. All right, I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying that. But that's what the guy was. He was it's part of the religion. I don't know too much. I should probably learn more about it just because of my name.
Word.
But yeah, my mom was just reading.
Dope. That's dope. Middle name? No middle name?
Yeah, Yussef Oscar. Oscar is my great grandpa, man. So all of us have Oscar.
Okay.
I think a lot of Puerto Ricans do.
What do you mean?
Everybody in my family.
Everybody got.
So my son, Oscar, middle name. My other son, Oscar. My nephews, Oscar. My cousins, Oscar, middle name.
Okay, that's something new I don't know about you. All right, cool.
Yeah, my brothers are a little bit different, but we've kept I kept it because of the honor for my grandpa, because I love my grandpa. That was, my great grandpa actually he was, but he was an amazing, strong man. He used to travel to Haiti and just did a lot of cool stuff. And he was just a powerful guy. He loved chickens. He just loved doing a lot of things. He was in the military. Just an amazing soul for the little bit that I got to know him before he passed away. So I was like, no, we're going to keep that going so I could tell my son why he got his name. And that's why we've been going, man. It's Yussef Oscar. And
Awesome.
I think a lot of Puerto Ricans are Oscar too, though. Like a lot of Puerto Ricans, Maria or Marie.
Yeah.
Jessica Marie, Luis Marie.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those.
Wow. So, but I want to go a little deeper into your life. Because you weren't born here in Chicago. I'm sorry, not in Wisconsin or Chicago or the States.
Yeah.
You were actually born in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
What part of Puerto Rico?
Carolina.
So
In
explain
Carolina.
to us, how was that when you were 10 years old?
Yeah.
Who were you when you were 10 years old?
Man, I was a skinny, short kid that knew no English at all. In Puerto Rico, we lived like normal Puerto Ricans, con gallina. We had a nice house. We went to school. I went to school out there. I started school out there. Going to the beach. We had a great childhood in Puerto Rico. And then when we got here, this is when it got tough. Then when getting to the United States was different. We had no family here. Nobody knew English. We moved to the hood of Milwaukee, which we didn't know even was the hood, because you come from Puerto Rico, everything is campo. So you come here, everything looks nice. Even then the hoods look nice. You base it based off how the buildings look. But yeah, it was tough when we came here. That's why I respect my mom and my dad so much. We didn't have nobody here. My dad was a factory worker. He had 2 jobs. My mom was working 3rd shift. I remember picking her up from work all the time because we had nobody to babysit us. My dad had to wake us up to go pick her up in the middle of the night from work. Getting beat up all over the hood, man, because I was a small guy all the time. And I was around a lot of gang banging. I never was in no gang, but I was around it all the time. So just in the middle of all the crap and things like that. But besides that, man, I had, my dad showed me the hard work and my mom showed me the culture and everything else. Great parents. They ended up divorcing all that, but they've always been great parents to us, and bringing us here was the best thing they ever did. Changed our lives. It opened our doors. My brother is, he's a high-ranked police officer in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And he's now on the boat. My other brother's a CFO of one of the biggest organizations in the country, and he's also a captain in the Coast Guard. So we've been working our way up, but yeah, man, we were typical Puerto Ricans, didn't know no English, dressing like Puerto Ricans, con el rabito atrás que todo el mundo tenía. The little tail, man. I think that's why I kept getting beat up too, man, until I cut that thing.
Did that beat you up after the tail was gone?
Yeah, man, yeah. But yeah, man, and a lot of culture always. We were always reminded we're Puerto Ricans. Every Christmas party, salsa, the party's going, you know how it is, like the meme goes, you got the kids sleeping in the tables, in the chairs, and the kid, and the mom.
I remember those days,
Yeah, bro, so we had it was a lot of culture, man, so I've always been, Puerto Rico's been my main thing since I was a kid. It's been engraved in me, the food. I was lucky, bro. A lot of people don't get that they can say that they were actually born out there and got the experience and went to the schools out there. It was an experience for me, man. It's the best I could have. I wish my kids could be able to come out there as kids and then come back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So they could feel that. But yeah, man, I went to a few schools out there. Then I came here. We didn't know any English, and we got to it, man. We were in Milwaukee. Yeah, man, can't say anymore. It's been good.
I can say I was born in Puerto Rico.
Were you?
Born in Vega Baja.
Oh, yeah, nice.
But I wasn't raised there. I was raised here in Chicago.
Well, how old were you when you came over here?
3 years old.
You're still born there, though, man.
Oh, bro. I got a crazy story how I was born, but this is your interview, not mine. So I'm not going to get into that story.
Yeah, how you guys got here?
No, how I was born in Puerto Rico. Because, we didn't, when you live in Vega Baja, we lived in the montaña.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is. Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
And back in those days, in the 1970s, they didn't have no bathrooms.
Yeah.
They had the alha, la letrina.
Yep.
I said it right? I think I said it right. So I was kind of born inside there.
Oh, your mom went to.
Wow. It's a whole story to that, bro. I'm writing a book.
That's crazy.
I'm writing a book. But
that's interesting, though, man.
Puerto Rican lifestyle, as I visit all my years going back and forth, I could say that I want my kids knowing that lifestyle.
Yeah, I spent some time in that town because after the hurricane hit, when I went to the Red Cross, I met a lot of people there.
So you went out there after
I stayed 3 nights there. Okay. We stayed outside actually in the in La Placita.
Okay.
And we set up a satellite there, and we went knocking to everybody's doors so they can come use the satellite and contact their family. So we would knock on every door, but that's one of the places that I talk about a lot because I noticed that a lot of the older folks there did not have limbs. They didn't have legs. A lot of them were in wheelchair. A lot of them are diabetic, so they lose their legs.
Yes.
From the ones that I asked, but that's where we seen the most, where I came back and reported like, hey, anybody think this is weird that all these, and there's a lot of older folks by themselves up there too right now, within the past few years when I went over there. But I mean, it was a beautiful place. You know how that goes. Right. Eso es campo, eso todo es green.
Just waking up in there and just hearing. People won't like to hear the roosters, but I love hearing roosters in the morning. When you're in Puerto Rico, you hear roosters?
Yeah, I love it.
You're home.
You know, it's a funny story, bro. I got chickens at the house now, and I got some. I
saw that.
But listen, bro, I ended up buying roosters. That was the worst mistake I ever did. They were gone within 3 days, bro. I didn't know it. You know,
because they're waking you up, or
bro, you forget because you think roosters. So you, as a kid, you're thinking they just wake you up nice all day long, brother. So at 3 in the afternoon, at 5 in the afternoon, brother, neighbors hated me. I had to get rid of them.
And you live in the suburb now.
Yeah, we live in a nice area, bro. So
look, this Puerto Rican over here.
Yeah, man, it was rough.
Rooster.
Yeah, they were looking at me. They would lie. They were like, "No, it doesn't bother me." I'm like, yeah, right. We had to go. The rooster's living somewhere else.
So, Yussef, tell me one good memory when you were 10 years old that you can remember right now.
Man,
there's many.
With me, it's the music, bro. The family parties, the family events. When seeing the family dancing and then canciones como El Venao, you know what I mean? That old school stuff, those were my best memories, just seeing the family together on holidays because my family was about music. Like, that's why I love music so much with the festival and I put so much like focus into it because I love sounds. And that was my best memories was at my aunt's house, all of us together, everyone dancing, the music playing until 4 a.m. Those were the best memories for me, man. And back then, you know, family was more united than these days.
Yeah.
So you really have family together, and
you really had family down the street from you, literally down the street or across the.
Yeah. And you know what? Also in Puerto Rico, man, I always think about at that age, no GPS. My dad pulling over on the side of the road to look at the maps, so that we can go throughout the island. And I remember the mountains around us, and my dad pulling over, and they had to check the map. And staying in little motels so we can get to the other side of the island because it was raining. And tú sabes, like, you're in Puerto Rico, that's a whole other thing.
Stop.
So things like that, bro. That I really.
That's awesome.
I think about a lot, actually.
I love that. So I'm gonna push you a little bit forward in your life. Now you're 15 years old. Who was Yussef then?
Man, 15-year-old Yussef was short. I always say short, bro, because I was a short kid, a small kid. I was insecure. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was always lively guy. I was always not too talkative, but I was always trying to get in the middle of something. I've always loved music, bro. So I've always was the kid at 15 trying to find somebody to manage. I never liked making music, but I wanted to find who the next. I was a big Vico C guy. Okay. So at 15, I'm listening to Vico C on a tape player because I recorded so many songs.
Kids don't know about that, huh?
Bro. They don't. You'd put the play and record, and you record it. And my uncle's a big drummer in Puerto Rico, a very well-known drummer. He used to take me to see all these groups like Vico C and then, you know, a whole long Michael Emanuel and all these reggaetoneros. So 15-year-old Yussef, man, I was trying to find myself. I was a wrestler in high school, which kind of changed my life. I was a quiet kid until I started wrestling. I was like, oh, man, height don't matter no more. But yeah, man, just an active 15-year-old kid. I was doing a lot of sports. I was involved in a lot of music stuff. Yeah, a lot of that, bro. It was just real active kid in school and then just being around a lot of things. I was involved in a lot of events. I was in plays, brother. I was in plays.
Okay.
Yeah, I played Cesar Chavez on a main
What
stage.
was your first play? I want to know what
Cesar Chavez was my first play, brother. I was like 14 years old. And it was big crowds. I went to Lincoln Middle School of the Arts. It's a huge art school. It's not as good anymore in Milwaukee, but it's a huge art school, man. A public school, so it was great. They had a lot of plays and I always had heart in me, bro, but I always was nervous because I didn't know English. So I kind of kept to myself until I started turning about 14 and 15. I kind of started opening up a little bit more. But yeah, Cesar Chavez, bro, I even got to a point one time where we were doing the play and I forgot all the words. You know how the sound has to wait for you to like tell the cues so they can close the curtains. Yeah. And I was like, let's all think about this next thing while we sit here. Because it was a meeting scene.
Word.
Thank God this young lady, but she said my cue words, closed the curtain, and that was my my headline. But we did like 8 shows after that. Okay. And I loved it.
Did you do other shows?
Man, we did there was a whole different amount of shows. It was old school stuff, some stuff that like we did a Roberto Clemente play that I played a part in. A lot of stuff, bro. So I've always been creative, man, I've always been the guy, the connector, bro. So I've always been like a connector. It's weird as I think about it now as a 38-year-old man. I'm like, I've always been connecting people. I've always been behind the camera trying to be like, you got talent. Let's put. I want to be behind the guy. We used to do DMX videos. Me and my guy we'd push his dogs until they start barking, so we can get footage of the dogs angry. And then my guy would kick the fence, and here goes the DMX song. And, bro, we had videos after videos we created. Photography. I was big for photography. That's why it's crazy that my son now does sports photography. Because he doesn't know that I used to develop my own pictures. That's mad dope. I used to spend a lot of time in the development room, bro. When Photoshop first came out, I was on Photoshop in 7th grade. Doing stuff on Photoshop. So, and then my son doesn't even know a lot of that stuff.
That's dope, but now he knows.
Yeah, now he'll know, man. Yeah, so
that's 15 years old. Yeah. Give me one good memory at 15 years old, other than the play, which was good. I like that.
No. My best memories are gonna come with my wrestling team, bro. Being in wrestling and being in sports, that changed my life. It made me a lot more confident. It made me strong. My coach kind of saved my life. You know, when you're there and you're like, your mom's going through divorce and you're just learning English, you don't even know who you are. You're 90 pounds and freshman in high school. You're just like, what? But my coach made me that. So my best memories would be traveling with this wrestling team that saved my life, man. We went all over Wisconsin. We went to Atlanta. I'd never traveled before. And just the love and just seeing my team, you know, being a part of that. It's things that I use until now, bro. The wrestling team changed my life. Traveling to Atlanta, becoming a champion with a lot. I won a lot. You know, I was
about to ask you that.
Yeah, we won a lot, bro. I was ranked in the state. I ended up going to UW-Whitewater to wrestle. I tried for the Puerto Rico Pan American Games, but I ended up being sick. Over 100, 200 matches a summer. So it was something that I was focused in and kind of made me a little beast, bro. So that's 15. That's when my transitioning kind of started going from quiet, small kid to like, nah, it don't matter, bro. I'll just bring you to the floor. And then we're the same height. So with life and everyone, you know, it's a different mentality.
I never saw it that way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how tall they are. The mat makes it different.
Yeah.
I got you on the mat.
Yeah. It's the same thing with everything, bro.
You probably could hoop, but I got you on this mat.
Yeah. And if you could hoop, I'll just take you to the floor. And now we're the same height. Like, I'll just take you down. And now your height don't matter no more. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna push that. We're gonna go into your 20. You're 20 years old now.
Yeah.
Who are you?
20 years old, man. I am now a confident, lost individual.
You put those 2 words together, huh?
Confident, lost individual. Yeah, because you know when you're young, you got that ego, but you're just dumb.
I've been there.
But you're just like, yeah, and you just going and going and going. I've always been a God kid, bro. My mom instilled God in me from the beginning, you know. El Padre Nuestro was my daily prayer, you know what I mean? Because my mom. You know, I was a lost kid. I was getting into a lot of trouble. I just got out of high school. I was at UW-Whitewater. That was my first time really out by myself. And just getting around the wrong crowd. Even though I was at UW-Whitewater, I ended up getting kicked out of there. But you know, I was lost. I was in just with the wrong. I've always been a good guy, but I was with the wrong crowd. Trying to find. My dad was working a lot, so I was always trying to find somebody to follow, and I ended up following some of the wrong people, which ended up being, you know how God works. Ended up being good because now it turns around. I work with a lot of kids that how I used to be, and it helps me be the best that I can be. But yeah, I was 20 years old, man. I'm lost. Again, trying to find my way. I was praying a lot, trying to see what I could find. At that time, I actually started trying to promote. So I was promoting clubs. Okay. I started promoting nightclubs in Milwaukee because Facebook had just started. No, MySpace had just started. So I'm on MySpace, mi gente.
We are dating each other now, right
I'm
here.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, MySpace, mi gente, Black Planet. You know, the beginning before that was the chat rooms on Google. And all that. So I was one of the first guys to kind of get on that in the city. So when I started going to nightclubs and I would say, hey, what's your worst night? And they go, what do you mean? I'm like, when do you not get empty? And it was like Wednesdays or random nights. And I was like, can I have that night? Yeah. Can I keep the door? And then you keep the liquor. You don't have nothing to lose. You're empty anyways. Mm-hmm. So that turned out to be something that worked for me. It took me a little bit, but I started promoting nightclubs at around 20 years old with a fake ID, brother. I didn't even have a 21. I came out here to one of the nightclubs and I was promoting an event. I was 20 with my cousin Henry's ID. Uh-huh. And that's how I started, man, promoting.
So entrepreneurship started around 20 years old.
Yeah, 20 years old, man, and it was good. We were doing numbers. It started horrible. Mm-hmm. I would have nights that I would have 0 people, and there'd be me and the owner and the bartender staring at me. I mean, night after night after night, mm-hmm. and he would pay me every night. Shout out to Soleil, man, mm-hmm. That kept paying me even when it was empty. But it was. It was something that I learned about it. That's why a lot of these things come easy now, because you sat through those empty nights when you have 5 bartenders looking at you. They're looking for gas money. Oh, yeah. They got kids at home. Oh, yeah. And they're looking at you like, yo, there's nobody here.
They want to make at least $50 that night.
Yeah, man.
At least $50.
Listen, I brought Nicky Jam in 2009. Uh-huh. I was like 20-something. So it had escalated a bit. I had kind of built a little bit name. People were calling me the club guy all over the city. And the only key was that I was on social media. Most people were not on social media. We were on MySpace. So we were able to like really push stuff and show them what we were doing. But yeah, 20 years old, that's what I was doing. I was promoting nightclubs with a fake ID, half into college, half not, depending what day it was, if I was going to class or not, or what was going on, and just trying to find my way, man. We did, we opened up a lot of nightclubs with these guys, did a lot of crazy things, made zero money, $0.
And people think we make a whole lot of money, but
man, tell me about it.
The payout was bigger than Come on,
it was zero. I was making really, even when we did Nicky Jam in 2009, that's when I had kind of got a little bit more serious. Mm-hmm. And I met some DJs, and I was about 21 at that time or something like that. So I was on that 20, we bringing artists. But yeah, man, 20 years old was a mess, bro. I was a mess. Thank God he had me in his arms, and I was still going. There was opportunities opening up. But, I was a lost kid. Thank God I got into that club promoting, all that really kind of opened doors for me. And we were able to help a lot of people, too, because we had fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. I remember those days. I was a club promoter, too, when I started at 15 years old. We used to throw parties in people's houses. So we would tell a person's mom, Mira, you got a nice basement there. If I give you $300.
Yeah.
Let me have a party there?
Yeah.
$300, that was good back then. She'll take it. But we'll tell her, we're going to have some cakes, though.
Yeah.
Está bien. So we just throw house parties in the basement.
Yeah, no, we did the same.
Charge $10 at the door.
Yep.
And charge another $10 if they wanted to drink.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy.
You don't see that no more these days.
Entrepreneurship, not the right way, but we did it.
We did the same thing, man. We had a lot of house parties, a lot of after sets that turned into a whole bunch of stuff. That was the young days. Yeah. Wild days, man. Back then it was different though. You didn't have the things that you have now. You could actually have a club party and people will fight, but nobody's gonna shoot each other. None of that crazy stuff. Yeah. So it was a lot different than that. And back then, like in Milwaukee, they had Fifth Avenue. That's what I tell the young kids now. I'm like, you guys have no idea, man. Fifth was all nightclubs. Mm-hmm. Like it was nightclub.
What's Fifth now?
Yeah, there's like one nightclub, a couple restaurants. It's been, I call it gentrification. Some people call it fixing it, but it's got its own changes.
So it's dead, kind of dead.
Yeah, it's dead there now. But you would go from one nightclub to another nightclub to another. Man, it was a whole street of nightclubs back then, and people could walk to another nightclub. It was amazing. You would have gay clubs at the end, all the clubs, bro. So it was a whole crowd of people, barely any issues, but it was different. But that's when social media had first started.
People went out to have a good time instead of not have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like people go out just to hold the wall up because they're holding their phones up. They're not even dancing.
But we were young, so we were doing it to be cool, man. I was doing it. I was trying to make money, but I was like, all right, I'm cool with the cool part. Because now it's like, oh, here's Yussef, the club guy. He's coming over here, and you get the clubs everywhere free. You get into everything. Mm-hmm. But there was no money being made.
Yeah, I was trying to make money.
Yeah.
I hate being poor.
Yeah, oh man, trust me.
I really hate being poor.
I got into the whole drinking thing, man. We were making a little bit of money, but I was drinking and partying and having a good time, and it was I got into all that. Mm-hmm. It got caught up with the whole. We made money, but it was going. I was young, man.
Oh yeah, because we get to a certain age, right? Now we're 21, 22, now we're making some money.
Yeah.
So we're making money off of one club and then going to an after-hours club and spending all the money we just made at one club at the after-hours, popping bottles. Mm-hmm. It was bananas. I was just telling my young dudes the same thing. Like, y'all got so much advantages right now, how to make money. You guys can make so much money with social media right now. It's bananas.
Man, listen, I remember when I would have to print out flyers and go and hand out flyers, brother. Like literally one at a time, getting chased by police as we were passing out flyers. Shout out to my brother Jimmy Morales, man. 'Cause my brother, he's a cop now, but it's old. Listen, it's old. But I remember I had a situation, I couldn't pass the flyers. We were having Nicky Jam, and I had stacks and stacks of flyers, like thousands and thousands. And there was a situation I couldn't pass out the flyers. My brother, him and his friends went out and passed the flyers out. He didn't know you can't go to Walmart and just stand there passing out flyers. Oh man, the police ended up getting involved with him, but those were the days, man. You would actually go put flyers on every car and wait till they got out of other nightclubs. Like, all right, go to that other nightclub and put every window you want to put these things on there. Now, man, you make a post, you go on Facebook, you boost the ad, you're good. You go into people's homes.
You know what's been doing good? Boosting TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I've been boosting, and I'm like,
you know what's funny? You said
crazy.
that. I just boosted my first video this morning on TikTok. I do it on Facebook. I do it all the
wait
time.
till you check later on. Watch. It's gonna be a whole bunch of people.
I'm gonna have
on
to
there.
check that out because this is the first. This morning was the first time I was like, let me try this out, and I boosted something on TikTok. I usually do it on Facebook.
It doesn't cost that much either.
No, it's
you
cheap.
Throw $30 at it, $40 at it. Imagine putting $100 on it.
Yeah, and even with like the festival, we put $20 into it. But back then they didn't know any of that stuff, man. These owners were busy, so I'd get on Facebook, MySpace. I've been promoting, getting the nightclubs full, and it started working after a while. We were having nice pack, but 20 years old, man.
After the food.
Getting cash every Friday, plus drinking, plus all the girls want you're the ticket in.
I'm with the promoter.
I'm with Yussef, man. You know how it goes.
I used to hear, I'm with the DJ. I'm like, I don't care. I'm the promoter.
Yeah, I spent some times in college, though, in my 20s, man. I was at Whitewater for a while, wrestling up there.
Okay.
But I didn't have any money up there, so that's when I started dabbling, coming back down to Milwaukee. And then that turned into one thing, and it just took over, man.
Word. So, yeah, I'm about right about asking this question. So about 20 years old or 20-ish,
Yeah.
you became a father.
Yep, around 20. Exactly. Then I was just about to turn 21 because it was June and my birthday's in July. So I was 20, about to turn 21. Yep, and I had just had my son, the best thing that ever happened to me, man, because then that's when I had to get it together. I was still kind of like in and out. Thank God for my mom. She helped a lot. I've had full custody of my son since he's been with me since he was 2. He ain't never left my side since. So I was going through that situation, but I was trying to change my life, bro. I was like, I got a kid now, my son, and I can't be doing this no more. So I was still dabbling a little bit, but I was like my exit out. And I was getting closer, a little bit more closer to God and praying and trying to get my things going. But yeah, I had my son 20, turning 21. And then after that, I went and got a job. And now I'm like, all right, I got to finish this education, which I never did, thank God, because it worked out. But 21, I had my son, man, and slowed down a bit. Started focusing on him a little bit. I was still a great dad, always there, but I was still doing the partying. Mami, toma, me voy a buscarlo, es viernes, lo voy a dejar aquí para el fin de semana.
As long as you got a babysitter.
As long as nobody ever but my mom.
Moms.
Yeah, and it's always been moms. It's been always moms.
Word.
So yeah, we had him, but that's kind of what like really started changing me, man. I started learning more, and I kind of started, and at that time, technology was getting better now. So now things are changing. That time when life was like that's when social media starting. Phones are getting better now. We're no longer using Boost Mobiles like 06 that you're chirping. Now you actually got the
chirping. Wow,
man, bro.
Take me back.
We had all the phones. Yeah, so now we had things were changing. So you were learning more. So there was more information out there. You can go on social media, and now you're learning things. So you can open social media, and there's like a guy talking about being a great dad now, and you just you take a second to look at it, and now you have a little bit of information. Yeah. And then you go to the next video, and there's a little bit more information. So I think it changed a lot of things then because you were able to know things that you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, there was no father, so I will have to look somewhere else for that father figure or that advice.
Yeah.
I wasn't into church that much when I was younger.
Yeah.
I'm at the church now for the last 15 years.
Nice.
We did go to church when we were younger, but that was Sunday, only Sunday.
Yeah.
The rest of the week, I ain't seen no church. I ain't hearing about no church. You know what I'm saying? And when I did go to church, looking at the camera, I was playing Spin the Bottle. Anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Now it's different, you know what I'm saying? But, so that's your 20 years old. You're 20-ish years old. You got your kid. 25, what does it look like?
Oh man, 25. What the heck was I in 20? 25. Oh, was my kid. 25. I was like coming out of the crap that I had put myself in. So I had put myself into all this crap. I got onto probation. and a lot of things that just put me in this hole. And at 25, I met my lady around that time. Well, I knew her a little bit more, but now me and her are starting to kind of get more closer. And my woman's she's great. She brought peace into my life and slowed down things for me a lot. And kind of really started seeing perspectives. And it was weird, like having someone next to you that cared. I remember one day, man, and I was 25. I remember I came home, I was living with my guy. Oh, and I was fighting MMA. I was fighting. Mm-hmm. I was working at a factory. I just got my son. When did we start the festival? 2013? In 2013. Yeah, I was the factory. Me and my girl were just getting things together. I started learning about the law of attraction, so it all kind of like came together. It was like the woman that slowed you down came in and was like, yo, you're good. Like, chill. You ain't got to do all that. My son was getting a little bit older. I learned about the law of attraction for the first time, and I picked up a book called Do You when I was at that age. I remember, because that changed a lot. It was by Russell Simmons before all that crap about him came out. But he had a book called Do You, and I read it at the same time, and that kind of put everything in perspective for me when it came to serving and working with others, because I came from a street mentality where it was like, this is a shark game. Your homies are the only ones there. The rest this is a chess game, play and win. And it started changing, like, nah, that's not how it works. The more friends you have, the more people you serve, the better things you do. That's what the real, when you really start building. And I read that book twice. I remember because it was the first book I ever finished, and it was by myself, that had to do with school.
That was like the light bulb, right?
Yeah, and I had a highlighter where I would highlight it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, things, and I kept reading over, and that's when I started serving. I remember he told the story about his CEO, that she started, she was asking for coffee every morning outside of his office for a long time. And he finally said, man, come on in, like, get the coffee inside. We're gonna give you like a part-time. Mm-hmm. And she kept serving. Long story short, this is a real story. She became the CEO of Def Jam after just from that. But it was from her serving people, serving. How can I serve you? How can I? And that's when my life at 25 kind of started changing, because now the festival we've kind of been rolling. I think, what had started already. Yeah, we had started the festival. We had a lot of different shows that we were doing, but it had a lot to do with that at 25. And a lot of stuff happened, but I'm giving you my life-changing points where I read that book and it started having me. I was working at a factory, brother. I was working at a foundry, burning my skin 3 to 3. I had to pay a kid $50 a week so he could watch my wife and my kids when they got home after they dropped me off with my son and my lady, because they was in the hood. So she dropped me off at 3:30 in the morning at work. And then they would have to be back they're back home, but she's dropping me off. We had one car. So I would have to pay the hood kids in the back money weekly so they can make sure she got in.
She got in.
Yeah.
Security.
Every night.
Security.
That's now I know you're good. It's 3:30 in the morning. These are the worst points. So I did that for a while. And then crazy, man, because I was working at the foundry. I hated my life. I was like, this is the worst. Foundry is one of the worst things you could do. It's a horrible job. Shout out to anybody working on it, because I know you get money, but it's a horrible job. But I started the law of attraction, and I wrote it on a piece of paper. That was at 20. I wrote everything that was going on, and things just started going from there, bro. But 25 was like my life changing. Plus, 25, I think, is a man's point where they start thinking more about, because now you're almost 30. So I think 25 is that transition where you're like, oh, crap, I'm going to be 30 in 5 years. Yeah. So all that started hitting me like God, bro, in the face, like these books and this woman that was just great. Mm-hmm. And then my son's like healthy, and then me and her would have a good relationship. Mm-hmm. And I trained in Muay Thai kickboxing that was training. So, bro, I lived with a guy from Thailand, my brother. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ty, who's out in Thailand right now. He was one of the first guys that Duke Rufus flew here to train his guys. Duke Rufus is the Anthony Pettis' coach from the UFC. Mm-hmm. Duke Rufus is also one of the top coaches in the UFC right now that has champions, but he brought them from Thailand. And I met this guy, Ty, because he had bro, it's like a movie, man. I drove past Greenfield. Everything I'm telling you is a real story. I'm driving past this and I see a building with like karate stuff on the side. Mm-hmm. And I teach wrestling, so I was trying to get out of the foundry. So I knocked and I said, hey, man, I can teach your guys wrestling if you just pay me a couple bucks.
Entrepreneurship,
let's go. Or I just need a place to sleep, because at that time, me and my girl were like that, but she was in Chicago, she was here, and I was in Milwaukee. And I was staying with my mom, my son, which is I hated it, bro. It was horrible. I love my mom, but I just wanted. And I say, man, you let me stay with you. I can stay in the gym with the kid, and then that way I'll teach wrestling. And then I did a couple classes, and he gave me a couple bucks, and he was like, hey, man, I got an empty room at the house. And this is a Thailand guy, bro. Speaks English, but his accent was just the line.
Word.
It was so much that he would cook a pot. Like they do these pots in Thailand, and he could eat for a few days. The pot stays on, and we would sit in a circle and eat like they did over there.
Wow,
I learned how to count in Thailand.
That's
I forgot.
amazing, bro. I love this.
Listen, bro, I'm not lying. And then
Come on.
he said you should fight, and I was like, I don't want to fight. I'm just here to train. He was like, no, you should fight. Long story short, I trained. I started training. I did 4 MMA fights. I only lost one, and it was the guy that ended up going to the Bellator and winning it.
Okay.
But I lived that life, man, of like, you know, the Karate Kid where he's like doing
Wax on, wax off?
Yeah, like that type of lifestyle with him. And I brought my son would stay with me in the gym. I'd go weld, he'd go with my mom, then we'd be in the gym training for a while. But that was like my 25, from like 23 to 25. That was my life. I was living with a Thailand guy, training kids, fighting MMA and racing for $800 while almost having concussion while I had one. But you know, it was a mess, man.
Word. Yeah. I want to get back to something you said, and it's your girl.
Yeah.
How did you meet her?
MySpace. She was the most beautiful girl in the world. Bro, when I seen her on MySpace, I said, that's my wife. Because she was just fine as heck, man. Curly hair.
You say hell.
Yeah, curly hair.
In the Bible.
Oh, yeah. Curly hair, man. And I was just like, and I would talk to her on MySpace for like the whole night till 3 in. But she was super shy, like super shy. But I met her on MySpace. When I seen her, I was like, that's my wife. I said that. I remember this, bro, because I didn't have nowhere to live at all. My son hasn't been born yet. I had nowhere to live, so I was living with my guy. He was talking crap about me, I remember, because he got me a job, and I ended up quitting because he was telling him that I was a bum, that I lived with him. Yeah, and he was caught saying that I wasn't doing all this, but I was just trying to figure it out.
He was hating.
I was young. Yeah, he was hating, bro. He really was. Because I was having a little bit of money still, because I was hustling and doing all this other crazy. So I was having a little bit of money. I'm like, well, you don't want going to work. But anyways, I was living with him, and I was on the floor on the computer. MySpace had just started. I had just uploaded my song to MySpace to a 50 Cent or whatever the heck was out at the moment. And I had messaged her, man. We would go back till 3 in. I remember when I'd catch up with her, man, she was so shy. She would barely talk. Her mom told me, like, she's really, really shy, this and that. She's the only child. But I knew her right away, and she was always calm. She was always trying to slow me down. And I'm like, and she dealt with me when I had no money.
Word.
Like, she was like the fine girl at the nightclub. She was like the fine girl, but the quiet one.
Yeah.
And then when I went on a date, I had no money, bro. I had money like that. My car was beat up. I remember the first date, I fell asleep on the car, and the front bumper came off. I'm like drunk. I'm with this beautiful woman. I picked the bumper up, I threw it in the back seat, and I was like, you want to go to George Webb? And she goes, let's go. And I was like,
down. She's just down.
Dog, all right, this is it right here.
Word.
Yeah, so that's how I met her, man, and I've been known her
Ever since.
And we had our bumps and bruises, bro. We had, because of me, you know, I was fighting the good guy and the bad guy inside of you. But she's been my peace, man. She slows me down because I go 100. I used to think about it different. A lot of young guys do that. They'll be like, man, and I used to do like, man, she boring, this, that. She don't want to do this, she don't want to do that. But some women are just going to bring you down a bit where you have to be. You know, that 100-mile-per-hour thing is not going to work.
Right.
You got to be able to bring it down. That's why I think you see a lot of couples that one talks a lot and one doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah.
And then kind of works out.
That's me.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife is extremely quiet.
That's my wife, bro. Yeah. My wife is real quiet. People like, man, your wife, no. I'm like, she ain't being rude. That's just, I love it. I like how she is.
She be talking a lot when she's at home alone.
Yeah. No, but yeah, man, she was, but she kind of, she believed in me, man. It was like a whole different thing with her.
You always need somebody in that corner with you, especially it's going to be your partner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your love. Entrepreneurship life is hard.
It is, man.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand that you got to be up all night, or you got to be out all night, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's true, man. I tell that to my young guys a couple guys that I mentor. As soon as they tell me goals, dreams, blah, 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 and I'm like, how about your partner, though? That's the main thing here. Like, well, she's kind of supportive, but she doesn't think that I should, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's going to be a problem right there. Because if you really want to build something, you have to go 100 miles per hour. You have to have support. You have to be able to have that person there that doesn't.
You got to be able to crash on her lap.
Yeah.
And just get home and just put your head on her lap.
Yeah.
Babe, just hold me.
And they believe in you, man. Even like, you know, with the festival. When we first started the festival, I told her, I said, this is going to take like 10, 12 years. Like, this is not like an overnight thing. Plus, we have to fight the politics. We're in Wisconsin. There's so many battles we're about to get into right now.
You had so much red tape
to
get through, especially in Wisconsin.
And it had a bad reputation at the time because the festival that happened in the 90s, they had a Puerto Rican festival, they had fights. So we had to like overcome that view of it, that people were seeing it like it was still like this thing that it hadn't happened for 20 years, but it was still the last memory of it. So we had to kind of go for a bunch of years with thank God we've never had a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank God. And but we had so many things. Also, just being a Republican state.
Yeah.
You know, the population of Puerto Ricans is not that big. And the ones that were there were laughing at me. I remember my wife made the first flyer actually on Photoshop. And I printed it out. And I remember going store to the Puerto Rican stores, and they would laugh at me. Like, I'm not even lying, bro. I would present the flyer, and they would automatically start laughing at me. Like, you crazy, what the hell's wrong with you? And then, like, a lot of them would just keep doing what they're doing while they were laughing at me. This was a lot of places.
They're not even trying to pay attention to you after that.
No, they weren't paying attention, but they didn't know this, bro. They didn't know this. That at the time I was working a job with DirecTV, asking people at Menards, hey, you got satellite or cable at home? And guess what I got all day? Laughed at in the no. So I'm like, just a regular day. All I got to do is do like 50 more and I'll get a yes.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, all right, I did 10 a day.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I got to do 50 tomorrow so I can at least get one. And if I do 100, I'll get two.
Yeah.
So I started thinking it that way. That's why when I see the guys at Menards or Walmart, I always go, bro, that job changed my life. You know, it changed my life from really just knowing because I was okay. And I'd get home and I'm like, shit, what happened? Everybody was laughing. Until I got a Mexican guy and I showed it to him and he said, I love Puerto Ricans. And I said,
why is it always not our people?
It's always, man.
Our people come after.
Yeah.
What we establish, you know what I'm saying?
And people don't talk about it because they want to all fit into that conversation of, no, los blancos esto, aquello, los mexicanos nos están bloqueando. People want to be in this victim mentality stuff, but they don't understand it's different cultures. You have to take your time to show them what it is.
Right.
Let them be comfortable with you. It is what it is. We're still not that far away from slavery, brother. You gotta figure it out. It's
wow.
You gotta really figure this out.
Wow,
you can't expect to go into a white room or with a white crowd of people and them to understand you right away. That's not gonna work. That's not what they see on TV. Right. You have to earn that. But once you do, nobody has opened more doors for me than Mexicans and the white folks in Wisconsin. I'm telling you, that nobody set me up to win more, open more doors. The first crowd was the Mexicans, bro. The Mexicans see what we were doing. Right away, hey, here, what else do you need? We want you to make that happen. We want you to be successful. What else do you want to do? And then when we started moving and rolling, all these other communities started helping us.
You know why? That's because you showed them a vision. And they saw your vision as you're speaking to them, right?
Yeah.
They're not your people.
Yeah.
But you're giving them a vision, and they're like, whoa, that could work. What he said, it could work.
Yeah.
So let's do that. So when we speak to some of our people, not all of them, because we have a lot of good people, but with some of them that are gatekeepers, they just they look away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or they don't want you to grab it because now they want to do it.
Yep. Yeah.
But God didn't give them that vision. They gave you that vision. So it's not going to work for them. It's going to work for you. No. It's your vision. And that's why you're at where you're at today.
Yeah. No,
because you started, what I remember, excuse me, what I remember is you started underneath a bridge.
Yeah. Man, we started underneath a bridge, brother. We had nothing. We didn't have porta potties. We didn't have, I always tell a story because it's true. We printed out a whole bunch of T-shirts with our logo and it said security in the back, and we just handed them out for free, so it looked like we had a bunch of security. And we gave them to the car show, and the car show guys were my guys. So I was like, bro, can you guys put these shirts on? And a lot of them put their shirts on Pito and these guys that exclude.
Wow, that is bananas.
Yeah, bro, exclusive. It was ¿cómo se dice? They were Toyota Club, but then they're also it's Pito's club. It's a big club out there. He's a huge car painting. But I said, can you guys wear these shirts? And they were all hanging out in the cars with their security shirts on. And people thinking we have security. We ain't no security. I got money security. And then we had one porta potty, and then we dragged two from a local construction site. We tied a rope to the back of it, and I pulled them to the area. And I had a ticket for that one.
I bet you
had
did.
to pay. Yeah, and then I didn't even have lights for electricity, so I went to the alderman. He was like, what do you want? I already gave you the park for free. I said, I don't have electricity, man. And there was an electricity box in the back, and he was like, I'm going to give you the key. You guys can plug up to this box. And I lost the key that night, and I had to go to this 24-hour store and then get a big thing to cut it and try to find a lock that looked exactly like it to give it to him. But that's how we had electricity.
That is bananas.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. We had one food vendor who's now Joanna's Bakery, who's now a major restaurant in Milwaukee. Now they've been open for over 10 years.
Come on now.
One of the best in the city. They just had media, Journal Sentinel just put them as one of the top restaurants in the state. Which is not just a restaurant, bro. This is like a place where Puerto Ricans go every morning to get bread. This is where you go feel good. You go get your pan sobao and your quesitos y la malta and el jugo de parcha. So when we talk about these things, it's not just a restaurant. This is a place that gives you that feeling every day. You know what I mean? So it's a big platform. So that's where they're at. And they had a blanket over their vendor because we didn't have no tent. It started raining. So we put a blanket over the tree, tied it up so they can continue the game. I mean, illegal as heck, bro. I mean, imagine the ticket you could have had. But that's how we started, man. And guess what, brother? We had over 2,500 people, no security, and we didn't have not one problem.
Because you had a whole bunch of security everywhere.
That's what they thought, man. That's what they thought. And we had people from Chicago and everywhere come up. But it was, man, it was an amazing feeling. That first video was on YouTube, and you could even just tell the vibe, how people just felt when the Puerto Rican festival came back, that they were entitled to it, which is what I wanted. They were like, this is our festival. So now they're cleaning up after us. We barely had any garbage after the day.
That's dope.
Because people were just like, no, we want this to happen again. So you got all these people cleaning and all this other stuff, like in little arguments that would form. People would stop it. Like, yo, what are you guys doing? We need this here.
Don't ruin this.
Don't ruin this. And that's what it's be. And that's why I always tell people at the festival now, we're not a nonprofit. We don't get grants. We don't get loans. We don't have none of that crap. This is from the community. Our vendors are paying a fee for us to be able to pay. Our people are buying tickets to come to this thing. This is no corporation giving us all this money, because it's just really not. You know, thanks to all of our sponsors, but it's not a big funder out there.
Right.
It's the community the community businesses that are making money to give us our vendor fee so that we can pay all these fees and all this money that we have to pay to make this happen in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, guys, Wisconsin. So it's, you know,
emphasize on Wisconsin.
Yeah, so it's
It's
crazy to then I'll go from there. Now I'll tell you the truth. To me, it doesn't. I still haven't had a lot of people are more excited than me, which is weird. Like, a lot of people are real excited, and I'm getting amazing messages, and I appreciate it. I think I love you guys. I've gotten a lot of messages, but everybody's like, man, how you? I'm like, I feel the same. I'm like, we're not done yet. Like, I can feel we're not done yet. You know, this is year one for me.
Yeah, there's more to come.
Yeah, this is, like I told him, this is year one. Next year, after we're done this year, now you ask me how I feel, because now I'm going to be like, all right, here we go.
Word.
Yeah.
So that was 25, maybe a little bit of 30 también, right?
Yeah. Yep, that was a little bit of 30s in there, man.
Okay, because I'm going to get into the 30s and 35s because you have more children.
Yep.
So who are these
Yeah,
two
so,
individuals?
yeah, man.
One individual. How many children altogether?
I got my oldest, and I got the baby that's 2, and everybody else. You guys are finding out first, but we got the girl coming.
I wasn't gonna say it, bro. I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, the girl coming, which is a blessing. Yeah, my son now, my oldest is about to be 18, bro.
Wait. Hold on a second. Bring the camera back. Thank you so much. He said something they passed by. They passed by real quick because the camera was on me when he said it. But put the camera on him because he's giving an exclusive. This is an exclusive for people to hear.
Yeah.
And some people might have heard it.
Yeah.
Real quick, but you go ahead and say that.
Yeah, no. So I was saying that a lot of people don't know, but we have our oldest about to be 18, the baby's 2, and then we have our daughter that's going to be born now in October. Hopefully she holds on, bro. She don't come early because September 21st is the festival, and she's due the first week of October. Like, God, you got to help me out here, brother. You know what I mean?
Well, congratulations,
yeah,
bro.
Thanks, man. It's a huge thing because a lot of people, and you know, I'm putting a lot of stuff out here because I always tell God, like, man, this is your glory. I just want to just let me win so I can tell people that I won because you did. Like, I can just share this. Right. Like, yo, this was God. Like, I promise.
This wasn't me. This was just me doing the vision.
I was just walking. You know, but just to put it out there for a lot of people going through, you know, the baby was the whole time, bro. We were planning last year from the NICU. The baby was in the NICU. We were going through all that stuff people didn't even know about. I'm getting cussed out through text for things that I'm not making it to. But we ended up, the baby, thank God, he hasn't even got a cold yet. Healthiest baby ever, but changed my life, bro. The kids, I got one going to college in a couple of weeks, and in September he starts college, and then we got the 2-year-old, and now the girl. That I'm not ready for a girl, man. I'm not ready for that.
It's gonna change your life,
Baba.
It's gonna change your life.
Everybody keeps saying that, man.
It's a girl. Yeah. I had a boy first, rough and tough. And
you got boy and girl?
I had a boy and a girl. Yeah,
oh wow.
Nathaniel. Shout out to Nathaniel.
How old are your
Shout
kids?
Out to Natalia. Brought my own man.
How old are you?
So we said how old you were earlier. I asked you how old you were. You told me 38.
Yeah.
I'm 51.
You're lying.
I am 51 years old. Yeah.
There's no way.
I get it all the time. God's giving me some good genes. I don't know what it is.
How old are your kids then?
My son is 33.
You're lying.
And my daughter is 21, about to be 22.
Bro, you found the youth of...
The father of youth.
What are you drinking?
Jesus.
Not just how you... Bro, you look young, but just your energy. And you're what the heck?
The energy just comes from the downfalls, for being in the valley and then getting to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
And knowing that was God that got me to the mountaintop.
See, that makes sense
I'm
now.
ecstatic about life again. You know
But all that makes sense now because you're older. That's how I was like, that's why I was like, it's weird being around you, bro. You got a lot of knowledge. Like, you know things. Like, I can tell you know things. And the vibe, but that's your age, man. That comes with it.
Thank you, Digger.
Especially you got more time in the play. You got more time in the field, like I had to say it. You know what I mean?
Been through those valleys.
Yeah. I always think about that. I'm like, man, I wonder how I'm gonna be when I'm like 50, man. if I keep doing the festival, I'll be a grumpy old man, but I think I'll be good.
You're a rich old man. That's what you're gonna be.
Man,
rich old man. But I say we're rich with this.
Yeah.
Not just money, right?
Yeah.
Money's great. We need it.
Yeah.
We're just buying back our time, really. That's what
Yeah,
we're
that's
doing.
all it is, man.
With the money we get,
100%.
we're buying back our time.
100%.
Our time with our family, our time with our friends.
Yeah.
So we actually enjoy this.
Yeah.
That's how you're becoming rich.
Yeah.
You're rich in family and friends and saying, Mama, you want to go to Spain this weekend with the kids? Mm-hmm. We didn't go to the Sagrada Familia, which is one of the churches out there. Let's go see the Sagrada Familia again.
Yeah.
That's our time back.
Yeah.
It's not about the money, it's what the money gives us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And to me, which has been engraved in my chest, man, is I want to start buying acres back in Puerto Rico. And I want to buy an old school down there, and I want to make sure that I could train kids to stay in Puerto Rico. It's on the top of my brain.
My God, right now is the time for that.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, that's one thing that I'm like, that's my main goal. It's just putting a lot of people on, man, because I just feel like,
That's it, right
like
there.
a lot of us have knowledge and information, and a lot of people might take these things like, man, these people are always, nah, man, people need to hear a lot of this stuff, man, and people don't have some of this knowledge. I love to learn. So when I get sick, like even guys like you older guys, when I could just hear, he talks to me, bro, I talk a lot. He don't talk much, but so he might not notice, but.
Came around me. By the way, there's somebody else in the room with us.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
you can't see him.
Yeah, you're right.
But this is not just his bodyguard. This man is actually taking care of this.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dope that he's here.
But when he talks to me, I listen deeper than he thinks. I might argue. I go back and forth because in my brain I'm like, nah, but then I'm like, oh man, this man's probably. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a lot of changes because of guys like him that are older. They might not think because I got the vision, so I'm kind of going fast with how God's setting things up. Even being here, everything like I call him 10 minutes before. Like, hey, what are you doing? Chicago, he's like, what do you mean? It's in 10 minutes. I was like, yeah, man, I just got to go. But so I'm just going. But having older guys and all this other stuff is, and not just me, I want to make guys like him rich the same way.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of great people that people don't see that are supportive and supporting stuff like this and our vendors. We have vendors that started with nothing, brother. Like, we have vendors that started with a dream and now they're like, man, I come out to your fest, I could pay the rent for 6 months.
Let's go.
But just the festival. So I need to go there. I pay 6 months and then I could do this and I'm good. There's a lot of that. And the artists that we put on the stage. I know it sounds corny to a lot of people, man, and they might be like, because I do it a lot. Man, what does he want? Man, what does he need? What does he want? But I'm like, I don't want anything. I just want to show you that God's for real. Like, it's just going to work through me. But it's the same thing, because I gave you the speech before. You might have not heard me because you were probably thinking like, este va a empezar otra vez con lo de Dios. Ay, Dios mío, este va a empezar otra vez. And the positivity, but it's real, bro, it's real life. Like that's my goal.
Word.
And I want to have 20 friends on a jet ski, not 2.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Go.
That's the.
I love this part. But right now we're gonna take a break and we'll be back with Yussef Morales. Let's go. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Los from the Flava Podcast. Did you know that in a research study, Rashi has been shown to have anti-cancer properties, anti-tumor effects. It helps detox the body and regulates the immune system. Whether your immune system needs to be controlled or boosted, Gano can help you there. And natural coffee that changes people's lives. Get your daily dose of 150 antioxidants in 1 cup while enjoying the flavor of this beautiful coffee. Natural coffee never tasted this good. Yo, what's up? It's your boy, and I still got my shades on because it's still bright up in the place. Still bright. He's so humble. It's still bright in this place. We were just talking about something that I'm gonna get to, but we're gonna do this or that first.
Okay.
This or that. So, arroz blanco, well, arroz con habichuela.
Arroz con habichuela.
Why?
A mí me gusta el arroz con habichuelas, es lo mejor que hay. El arroz blanco me gusta dependiendo, con los tostones o algo así, dependiendo, pero arroz con andule, that's my thing. I don't know, I think it's my mom makes the most, and I like it amollado.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's my choice, bro. When I go anywhere, I'd rather eat that. I never liked the white rice.
I love the white rice.
See, I never was though. I wasn't even the type of the ketchup in the white rice.
Come on, no. You were not that poor then. You were like semi-poor.
No, I was eating Spam. We were still eating Spam like it was steak. Like we were like, you want Spam? Like it was steak still.
Because our meat was the ketchup.
Yeah. No, we were food stamp kids 100%. When the paleteros could still take food stamps. You know what I mean? In Milwaukee they could, but for sure I just didn't.
Oh yeah, they did that.
The paleteros had food. They took food stamps over there.
Did that. They probably could have done it over here too.
Man, they did it over there. I don't know if they were doing it like they weren't supposed to and they give my mom cash. Now that I think about it, like you give me 20 food stamps and then I'll give you this back. But we were paying
on the come up.
Yeah, man, for sure. So arroz con gandules all day.
Yeah, I like the white rice because you have it with black beans, right?
Yeah.
Or you just put a little huevito on top. Put that
Yeah,
egg
yeah,
on top.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I like it so much. You can do a lot of stuff. So
You can.
Tom or Jerry? I'm talking about the cartoon.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm gonna go with Jerry's the mouse, right? I'm
the
Jerry
mouse.
all day, man.
Why is that?
Jerry moves fast, man. He's slick. He likes to go. He's also small, so he can go other places. You know what I mean? So I'm with him all day.
Okay.
He's a fast guy.
All right. So you're from Wisconsin. So how many baseball teams you got out there?
Bro, I'm a Brewer guy.
Okay.
Listen, bro, I'm one of those guys, and I won't show it because somebody will steal it, but all my cards are Brewer cards.
Okay.
I don't own a hat that is not a Milwaukee team or a Wisconsin team.
Okay.
Like I won't even. I have hundreds of hats. I'm a ball guy, so I got a lot of hats. Pero todo es Milwaukee Brewers, Green Bay Packers, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mira, you took away one of my questions.
Listen,
Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears.
Oh no, you know the answer to that. I'm gonna try to convert you over. I'm trying to convert.
You don't have to convert me. I'm a Packer fan already.
Oh, we're at the right place. We're at the right place.
I've been a Packer fan it's about 13 years now. I was trying to get on the nerves of my pastor.
Yeah.
Because he's a huge pastor.
Bears.
Shout out to Pastor David. He's a huge Bears fan, and
Yeah.
I just want to get on his nerves because he's getting on my nerves. And I said, I'm a Packers fan. He said, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. Blasphemy.
Jesus don't want.
So ever since that, I
Yeah.
just started watching the stats on the Green Bay Packers and how they play.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why should I be a Bears fan just because I'm from Chicago?
Yeah.
When these guys are killing it.
Exactly.
I'm watching these guys.
Yeah.
So I became a Green Bay
With
Packers
me,
fan.
I just been a fan since I was a kid. I got here, I've been always engraved and all that. So I don't. My son always was like, Dad, buy a different hat. Oh my God, it's always Brewer and Bucks hat. Get a New York. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not doing it. Get a Boston hat. I'm like, nah. He said, well, you love the. I'm good, man.
Even the Bucks.
I'm with the Bucks all
Over
day,
the
man.
Bulls?
Man, I am.
Over the Bulls?
Bro, I'm a hardcore Milwaukee guy, brother. I'm a hardcore Milwaukee guy. Like
word.
I'm repping only Milwaukee Bucks, even on the losing day. Green Bay Packers, I'm rocking with you all day.
Word.
And even the Brewers on their worst day, because the Brewers always start out good and end bad. But I'm rocking with them. All my hats, man.
All right, word,
And
word.
I love going to the games. I'm a hometown type of guy. I love Milwaukee, man.
Word.
I used to love Chicago Bulls and all that. I remember when I was a
Who
kid.
didn't back in the day?
That's true, man. I remember coming to the Michael Jordan restaurant. We came one time. It was a huge deal for us.
Okay.
I was like, we made it.
Did you like the food?
I don't even remember. I was a kid.
Yeah, it was all right.
I'm sure I probably had like a hot dog or something.
So what was my question? I got thrown off there a little bit. Oh, okay. Salsa or merengue?
Salsa.
Why?
I love the salsa beats. I love the old school salsa. Todo lo que tiene que ver con voy a decir hasta el nombre de Frankie Sabeth para darle un shout out. But anything with salsa, bro. I'm a big old school guy. I think merengue will make you want to dance, and salsa puts you a little bit game. I like that old school salsa that OG salsa stuff. You know what I mean? It's more than merengue. You don't hear a lot of merengue like that.
No, not really.
I mean, what's his name? Started bringing out some merengue too. With Christian Alice had a couple songs that he came out, so we brought him out here for some merengue.
Okay, cool.
But salsa, man.
Salsa. Okay, cool. So this is a good one right here. R&B or hip hop?
Oh man. So I grew up a big R&B guy. I used to record Boyz II Men. I didn't even know English, man. And I was like recording all the guys in Puerto Rico because I was so hardcore in R&B and writing poetry, a lover boy. But I think the world changed my life, man, and I became a hip hop guy. So I love hip hop, man. I don't like the new music. I don't like a lot of music that's going around, but I like all the old school stuff. I like a couple of Memphis hip hop. I love Memphis music.
Okay.
Anything that sounds like Afro beats with hip hop on it, anything like that. But yeah, I would say I like hip hop more than R&B. R&B if I'm with the wife and with the lady or something like that, and we're traveling. but mostly I'm all day hip hop. Well, I'm guessing you're R&B then.
I am R&B unless I'm here with my engineer Alex.
Yeah.
He likes putting a lot of slow songs around me. I don't know why.
Hey man,
like, yo,
ain't judging nobody. Man.
Stop it! You're throwing the hip hop out, papi.
It's just us here, brother. It's just you got Boyz II Men playing right now.
So, Superman or Batman?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Batman. I like how discreet Batman is. Batman comes out, he's the man of the town with the suit or without the suit.
Okay.
So I like how he moves. I like his story, how he came from nothing.
What do you mean came from nothing? He came from he was
Well,
rich.
yeah, but he kind of built it. But you know, not money wise. But he kind of built his little thing that he was going. You know what I mean?
You're talking about his being a superhero or whatever.
Yeah, being a superhero and then kind of doing all that. But no, he grew up with money. But I just like that story, the Batman story.
Yeah.
And I love how he has this guy always with him. What's his name?
Robin?
No, not Milton. Alfred. Yeah, that's the part of the story.
The butler.
Yeah. But the butler's really the smart guy.
Yeah.
He's really that guy, and he kind of peeps that. So they don't know, but he's running off him. It's a whole show, man.
Word. A lot of entrepreneurs say Batman.
Do they?
A lot of entrepreneurs
That's crazy.
say Batman. One, because the money. He has a lot of money. Two, because he's smart.
Yeah.
And three, because he always gives back, even though he's known as being that bad boy, rich billionaire guy. He gives back as well.
Yeah, and I don't like Superman's haircut. That's like the main thing that throws me
I love
off.
Superman. Superman's my guy.
I've always pictured myself for Halloween in a suit.
You don't like that curl he has in front?
Nah, I don't like that thing, man. That's what throws me off about him. I'm with Batman.
I always pick Superman for one reason. And it's because in the Bible it says that we are not from this world.
Yeah.
And Superman is not from this world.
Nope.
So I always pick Superman.
Yeah, that's a
Just
good way to
because of
look
that
at
one.
it.
That's because of that one. But Batman's dope too.
Yeah, Batman's dope.
He's dope too. Now, the serious question, the number one question on this table, the most serious question. I don't believe they have this in Milwaukee. If they do, then I need to go more.
Yeah.
But Chicago pizza or New York pizza?
Oh, I'm with Chicago pizza all day, bro. That's one thing I love is Chicago pizza. Actually, that's what we gotta do. But I love Chicago pizza. It's a lot different. New York pizza is good. I've had it too, and I like the New York. Well, it's kind of Puerto Rico. They do it kind of like New York. It can be in flat and the white powder and all that stuff.
It's a pie.
It's a pie. Yeah. I just like Chicago pizza better, man. I like how it's freshly cooked. A lot of the New York pizza, which is great, they keep it on the light all day, and then it's kind of part of their thing. But I'm with Chicago all day.
Yeah. So if you're here in Chicago, where do you go for your pizza?
Man, I know how to get there. I don't know the name, but I know it's an outdoor place that I go to all the time.
Okay.
It was on my old phone. I wish I would have it. But last time I went was a couple months ago, but I don't know the name, but it's delicious. It's like a thick old pizza. It's an outdoor place. They even got like fire in the middle.
So it's not on the south side of Chicago.
I think it is in the south side of Chicago.
Is it?
Yeah, because it was close to it.
Really?
They have like fire pits everywhere.
Wow.
I went with Scott Thomas. Shout out to Scott Thomas. I went there last with him actually. And
That sounds pretty nice, but it's not called Natty's, right?
It was like a red logo.
I'm just messing with you because I'm looking at the camera right now. You see, Liz, nobody goes to Natty's. Nobody knows you're
Is that like a
Natty's.
pizza place here?
It's a pizza place on the south side.
Is it?
That you need to bulletproof vest to put on
Do you?
because you might get shot getting
Oh,
this pizza.
yeah. No, I don't like. I like pizza.
It might be good
man.
pizza. It might be good pizza because
Yeah,
people are taking a risk.
Listen, you never know though. Like we got a place called JJ's Chicken in Milwaukee. You might die, but you're gonna have some good chicken strips with with the great seasoning on it. You put what is that seasoning they put on all the Rick Ross fries and all the Rick Ross stuff? Rick Ross got the seasoning they put on there, but they do the same one there for the best. When I was younger and I was a dummy, me and my guys would pull up there 1 a.m.
Okay.
And then you're like, and you eating the best, but you're risking your life, man. So those places sometimes got good food.
Well, if you're here on the north side, my favorite place is called Pequod's.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Pequod's like bomb pizza, the bomb pizza, and it's also been on a challenge here in Chicago with pizza places and whatnot. And it got up to 3.
It was one of those David Portier things.
Yeah.
They
So
got
Pequod's, if you want to check out Pequod's,
Probably
it's
do
on
that,
Webster and Clybourne. So
We'll probably take some to go because we're going straight to the Puerto Rican restaurants. We're gonna go to Ponce and a couple of other ones.
Yeah, shout outs to Ponce. They're gonna be here soon. Yeah,
cool.
Awesome. You do some really good things. So now get into Ponce. Now we're talking about Ponce. So you're here in Chicago. What are you doing here in Chicago now?
So man, we came here to show you love, man. We came here to talk to you.
Word.
Get some of this content that we want to put out to give information. I know you got a big platform, so we were like, and think this is a blessing coming in here, bro. You have an amazing studio. And just here to show love and also visit a couple of restaurants that we're talking to right now that are gonna be vendors. I think it's 2 stores that we're also visiting. It's about 4 or 5 businesses that we're gonna be visiting. We're supposed to go to the museum, but I got to call, see if they're still going to be opening up today or not. But just, I want to just start showing my face a lot more here because Chicago shows us love, bro. Like we get our dealing, and we have amazing vendors, but nobody makes it more easy than the Chicago vendors, man. They call us, they sign up early, they help us with the fees early. They call me, you need anything, you need this, okay, I got you. So there's no questions when I deal with Chicago. And I was talking to my buddy about that the other day because All Goods, Ali, that we were talking about earlier. Okay. And he loves Chicago, and he's like, yeah, man, vendors are so easy to work with down there. It's just the big thinking, man. So I want to just start coming down, and it helps me, man. It's motivating to come and do this stuff. But sometimes you get drained out in the smaller towns, the smaller cities where people don't think it's big, even though Milwaukee's changing now, everybody's doing some big things. But the art, bro, everywhere, the way that everything changes, you're like in a hood one second, and then the next second you're in a, that just gives you this vibe, and everybody's constantly moving, So, yeah, man, we're here to the vibe. Come talk to you, man. Visit some restaurants and keep rolling so we can get as many Chicagoans, is how you say it?
Chicagoans, yeah.
Down in Milwaukee for the festival.
Awesome. So when is this festival being held?
Yeah, so the festival will be Sunday, September 21st. That's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're at Summerfest Ground this year. If you guys don't know Summerfest, Google Summerfest Grounds. It's the biggest stage you can get in Wisconsin, and I think it's one of the biggest stages in the country too. They have Summerfest, the festival that goes on there. It goes on for 6 days, and they bring in hundreds of artists from all over the world. So being in that grounds is a huge thing for us, a huge thing for the city. It's a huge thing for the Puerto Rican culture, just for us to be on that platform where we're supposed to be. Milwaukee's a huge city festival. It was now officially now the City of Festivals. They actually got that official now. But it's a city of festivals, and we have everything, man. We have Irish Fest, we have Polish Fest, we have German Fest. We got a lot of amazing festivals, and most of these festivals, brother, they are at Summerfest grounds. And we were the only festival that we're at just local small parks, that is just like open parks. Most people are on this stage, so now we're at Summerfest, man, where we should be, and it's gonna be crazy. Like sometimes I look at sometimes I on purpose, I'll go stare at the stage at Summerfest and I get nervous. I'm like, oh man, because it's such a big stage that I'm like, we got something here now.
You're gonna do some great, amazing things, bro.
Yeah, man. It's man. I could just keep saying that because I be tired. My body be tired. My men it's a fight, man.
But you're on the go. It doesn't stop with you. You just keep on going. The vision is there, and I can see you putting one foot in front of the other and keep on going. So I know we can't talk about the performance or anything because we're going to hold that back until you're ready for that.
Yeah.
But how many vendors you're thinking about having?
So, man, we've been blessed, and I want to thank everybody that's applied to that's watching this. We had over 189 vendor applications. So we're going to cut that list down a bit. Unfortunately, we have to, so we don't all fit. We got about 12 food restaurants, and we have amazing food restaurants. We might add one or two depending on how things get going with ticket sales and things like that. But we have 2 food vendors from Florida that were in Calle Ocho. We have 3 food vendors from Chicago, some of the best restaurants here. We have 2 food vendors from the New York Festival that come out that they have restaurants that are really big out in New York. So we have amazing different choices that people can pick from. The diversity of restaurants, because we also have a Dominican restaurant that's coming out. So we'll probably end up adding some. We have about 8 Puerto Rican restaurants, and then the rest we've been adding some things on there. But yeah, and then we have vendors from everything. We have clothing brands that are coming out. We got insurance coming, the typical stuff. The hospitals that sponsor us are coming out, and a lot of fun stuff. Our biggest thing with us is making sure that our vendors are a part of this festival. We want our vendors, we don't want to be a festival where the vendors are just sitting behind a desk waiting for people to come. Yeah. We are very hard on pushing it that our vendors actually bring entertainment or bring something to connect with people. We want as soon as someone steps into the festival, we want it to be an experience. From the first person to say, hey, welcome to the Puerto Rican Festival, to the first vendor, pull them, hey, come here, check this out. The next vendor, hey, next. So we have real active vendors that are going to be, our goal is everyone leaves tired, not just from the music and the food, but talking to vendors, come and get some amazing information. There's a lot of good resources that we're going to have that we feel that's been needed, that people should learn about. From buying houses, not just here, on a national level, bro. And things with the youth, a lot of stuff with the kids, getting kids into stuff. a lot of volunteering information. It's just so much. We have a health area that we're going to do some health stuff. The festival is, it's music, it's food, but it's a platform for a lot of things. People are going to come out, leave with bags, with information. We have vendors that'll talk to you if your mom is older now in Puerto Rico and you want to get into a place where you're getting paid to help your mom.
Bro, that's awesome.
That's the goal, brother. That's the goal. And out of our 189 vendors, probably 120 of them are Puerto Rican business owners.
Let's go.
So it's a platform for these business owners that are Puerto Ricans.
Keep that culture going. Keep that culture going. Absolutely. So what activities are going on at the festival? Man,
we all day long, our stage will be rocking. We have 2 stages. So our main stage will have our biggest headliners. We got, like, for example, right now, Wendy Luna, and I can't mention a lot of names. We're closing a lot of contracts.
I know you're putting names out there, bro. You're putting names out there.
Yeah, but Wendy Luna, we got a lot of them like her that are already ready to go.
They're locked down.
Yeah, that are locked down.
Okay.
And so we'll be releasing that pretty soon. We have our main stage is rocking all day. Our side stage has things like, for example, beautiful owner of Ponce, and they were one of the first ones I hit up because when we do our survey, we did the survey after the festival of some of the best food. Ponce always comes out as the top in service and food. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, can you come out and do a 30-minute class? People want to learn how to cook. There's a lot of folks that are not Puerto Rican in Wisconsin that want to come see how they make a tostón. Even though you go on YouTube, it's different than a Puerto Rican mom that runs this, that does it, has that extra flavor for you to sit in front of the stage and watch her do this. And we have 4 of those cooking classes. We have salsa classes going on all day.
Wait a second, I want to take you back to the food. Take you back to the food. So you mentioned tostones. Are they going to teach rice? Most people that I know that are like Mexican, white, black, non-Puerto Rican, always want to make our rice. Are they making that?
You know what? When you were going to bring her here, you talk to her into that and tell her that because she's looking for ideas right now for things that she should really make. But and I think rice is the easiest but hardest thing to make.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like me, I am horrible. The first time I made rice, I didn't know rice grew, so I filled it up to the top.
No, you did it.
I did.
No, you did it.
And then it wasn't like one of those the gas stoves. It was electrical, so it all stuck to the stove.
Yeah.
It was everywhere, brother. That was my first and last. I never cooked the rice after that again.
Yeah, we don't want you to do no rice.
You're good. I didn't know it grew, man. So like
you're okay. Don't do no rice.
But rice. You're right though. Rice is one of those things you got to kind of have your tu sazón, like. A Puerto Rican mom,
sofrito, you know what I'm saying?
Sofrito no te va a decir, ponle una cucharita. No, it's like, I just know how it works. And then it comes out this magical, and then you try it with half of this, 2 cups of this, and they don't taste the same. Right. So that'll be talk to her. Maybe she does the rice one. That'll be big.
I'll definitely talk to her when she gets here. Yeah, definitely. So any activities like bouncy houses for the kids?
Yeah, so our kids area, shout out to Milwaukee. They sponsored the whole kids area. With Milwaukee County, the county by itself, the whole entity. And we have a lot. Last year, we only had bounce houses. This year, we got the bounce houses. We have actually a nightclub. That's a glowing nightclub, brother.
A glowing nightclub.
It's a glowing nightclub, and it's the Bad Bunny children's nightclub. No cuss words in the song. So this is a lot of Bad Bunny stuff with no cuss words. And it's a glowing nightclub. Kids will go in there, and they can get these glowing things, but the whole place is glowing. And it's a nightclub, and kids come in there, get some energy.
Only kids, because now I want to go. What are you talking about?
Everyone is welcome, but it's in the kids area, and we got things like that. A lot of different, we haven't got rides yet. We're going to be adding rides, but we have our bounce houses. We have the clowns that are coming all day. A lot of stuff from the Taínos. We have a whole session on Taínos. We have about, I think it's, right now we got a crew of about 10. They're all from Utuado, Puerto Rico. They come from the whole lineage of Taínos, and they're coming out to do a small different segments. We're going to break it into 20 minutes for people to sit down and learn about Taínos. You can come by the kids there, by the side stage.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Camera on me. I want to applaud you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Bro. You bring them because they need to know about our Taínos.
Yeah, the Taíno thing is a huge thing for us, man. Right now, you'll see a lot of promotion with it. We threw out a little bit, but we didn't want to get some people that don't know the culture a little bit too, like this is too much. It's hard to understand. I think the Taíno conversation is, people have their own feelings about it. I love talking about it because that's where we come from, no matter what happened or didn't. I don't think a lot of kids slowly dying, but it's not. There's a lot of people. Once you start researching about Taínos, it's a lot of stuff, man. There's so much stuff out there that I've learned in the past few months just researching, and a lot of organizations that are trying to keep it alive, but it's all under the table. And I think we got to use platforms like the festival to start showing that and getting kids to sit on the side. And like one of the things we're doing this year, and you'll see a lot of promotion, if you come dress as a Taíno, you get $5 out your ticket.
Let's go.
You know, so the kids could come in and dress as Taínos. We have people doing face painting all day, Taíno and we want it to be a big thing. But yeah, bro, a lot of educational stuff for the kids. The play area is insane that we got set up for this year. It's not just bounce houses. We got a little bit of everything. We got the human-sized bowling and just a lot of cool stuff to keep them busy. Enough vendors for families to stay busy all day talking to different people besides the salsa and everything going on the stages. A lot of cool things, man. And in the opening ceremony, our opening ceremony is at 1, and this year's real special because most opening ceremonies you'll see a lot of politicians. And we're going to kind of ease back on that, and we're going to be acknowledging a lot of the Puerto Rican business owners from Milwaukee. So I have a line of, most of them are women, brother. So I have over like 10 of them that are women.
Here in Chicago too, bro.
Yeah, lined up. A lot of them are women, and we have them lined up that they're going to come into our opening ceremony, and we want to introduce them. We want people to connect with them. Shout out to all the women
doing their thing. Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of Puerto Rican business owners in Milwaukee, and they're the most receptive. They're the ones that you give them advice and they jump on that, man. Like Joanna's Bakery. She's a woman. Shayla owns the biggest tattoo shop right now. I'm like, there's just so many of them that people don't even realize that they're in Milwaukee that are in leadership positions, man. We have our president of our common council is Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? There's so many things. My brother, he's one of the higher ranked guys at MPD, Milwaukee Police Department, on the water, and he's Puerto Rican. One of the highest ranked guys in the fire chief is Puerto Rican. So these are the people we're going to be having on our stage during our opening ceremony, and it's a good chance for not the adults just to come see here they go, let them talk and do the opening, but the kids to come and learn about some of this stuff. You know, these are positions that are available in the future for you. That don't matter if you're Puerto Rican, it don't matter what. Stop believing that crap. You do whatever you want.
I love it. I love this interview because it's going in a lot of different places, and I can see your energy, and I can feel your energy, bro.
Yeah.
You're vibrating. The vibe is great in here right now.
I appreciate it, man.
And one thing that I always do, that whoever sits in that chair right there gives back, and has a heart for giving back. So you give back in a certain way. It's also your job, but you also give back, right? So what is exactly that you do?
During the day, I'm the youth program manager for America Works, man. It's a big organization, so I do a lot of casework with youth, man. I got over 300 kids on my caseload, and I oversee other caseworkers. We deal with kids that are missing over 15 days and up, which you'll be surprised. There's more than 200 kids that have over 90 absences just in the Milwaukee area. And that's just the Milwaukee area. So I work with kids like that, helping them stay on track to graduating, helping stay, if they're not going to graduate, and putting them in programs like Job Corps or getting them into training so that they can become someone. Because these young people, man, a lot of them don't have a plan. And if your dad's not talking, a lot of them have their dad in their life, but dad's working 60, 70 hours a week trying to get things done. That's where it comes where people say that, hey, it takes a tribe to grow. It took me a long time to understand that because I was one of those dads that was like, that's my kid. I don't need that. And as I get older, I'm like, no, it's a tribe. His coaches, his mentors at school, his teachers, his uncles.
Just like you had a mentor.
Exactly, man. Just like I had a mentor. So to me, that's one of the biggest things that I do during the day is to serve the kids. And if I could just change, and we have we have a haircut program that we use that I was telling you about. We were doing these financial literacy courses for kids. These are the kids in 53206, 53209. If you guys look it up, it's top 6 zip codes in the country, both of them. So these are the top in the country. I think they did this on 2024. But these are the kids that are going through it. And we were bringing and I only give this out because I think people should steal these ideas, but we had a bunch of girls coming into financial literacy courses that wouldn't take their hoodies off. I'm not going to tell you to take your hoodie off, but I'm going to pull you aside and say, hey, what's going on? Is it the hair? Is it depression? Or what the heck is going on here? You all right? 100% of the time was the hair. So I was like, what the hell? We got 30 girls in here that have hoodies on. And when you would ask them about their attendance, a lot of it had to do with how they look. These kids have Snapchat. These kids have Instagram. And a lot of these girls were able to afford the haircut in the beginning of the school year because you get everybody's got free haircuts, free hair this. You go to these free places. You know what it is? Everybody holds these, shout out to all those barbers and stylists that do that, but they were able to do it. So these girls would have, and a lot of them are African-American girls, which the hair is not just like a Latina with good hair. A lot of Latinas have curly, but like good hair. Una blanquita que tiene el pelo bueno, how we say it. So we brought in all these girls, man, and we ordered all these kits, and it was over 40 girls. And I went to all the African-American girls in the office, and we said what they use. Okay, this is your kit. This is look good. This looks good. They need to have everything. The hair, the iron. Okay, we need the rubber thing so they don't burn their mom's the side of the cabinet. So put the hair down. Okay, perfect.
You thought about it all.
Bro, we thought about every step. So then we put on Facebook, and I always shoot this out because I have the best Facebook. Amazing, bro. Like I have the best Facebook friends in the world. Like I could just post anything. And we ended up getting about I think it was 20 volunteers, 10 showed up. From Racine in Chicago, we had some show up.
Let's go.
On a Saturday, brother, the most busiest day. So these are people that really want to do this. They're not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
And you give up your day. But long story short, man, they ended up coming in showing the girls how to do their own hair. Mm-hmm. And some of them had their mom there. They hadn't talked to their mom since the last time their mom cussed them out. So now you got your mom learning how to do your hair in the morning. You're learning how to do your natural hair. You know, and it changed. Attendance went up. The girls started joining stuff. There's 2 of them in the Fire Cadet program right now. Because we took them to the Fire Cadet to learn about the program. So that's what I do during the day. A lot of people don't know that. But I work with kids Monday through Sunday pretty much. And we've gotten kids in everything you could think of, summer camps. We do 100 kids every summer camp that has never left the hood. Number 1 question, have you left your hood? No? Okay, you qualify. You never left your street because your grandma lives a block away, your school's another block away. Yeah. You ain't never seen your dad, so your dad's not around. Your mom doesn't leave, she ain't got no car, she doesn't have money like that. So you just in the neighborhood all day long with the dope boys and whoever. So now you got kids that have never, I didn't leave the South Side, and Milwaukee's like that. So we lived in the South Side, and they would tell us, don't cross the bridge. You don't go to Waukesha, where I live now. You don't go to Bayview. You will get pulled over and go to jail, and you don't go to these areas. So we lived in the South Side. That's it. You cross the bridge, it was all the negritos, bro. It was all the African Americans, which I went to school with I went to all black schools. So it was and I didn't know no English. That's kind of how I've been able to.
They taught you English.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I used to be walking around in the hood, Wisconsin Avenue on Cherry Street with these guys. But you know, man, all that stuff together, bro. That's we're trying to just help the kids, and yeah, all of our cleaning crew. Everybody's like, your cleaning crew, we got a lot of that. Your cleaning crew's amazing. Your cleaning crew's ran by my son, who's been with us since, and all those kids are on basketball teams, and we help them with all. What do you need? What do you have? Okay, here's the fee. And we take care of them, man. So
I love. Not only are you trying to take care of the culture, you're trying to take care of these kids that need the help, that don't have that parent or don't have that father. You're just doing a lot,
man, bro. I'm drowning. I'm out here and working,
and I'm proud of you that you even gave me the time today.
No, I appreciate you.
Because I know you're mad busy, son. So keep on doing it. But one thing about you that I know that since I've been knowing you since last year, God is in the picture at all times with you, right? And that's the vibe that I love from you.
Everything I do, man. A lot of people they get tired. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear they want to hear like the connections you have and the things you do and how much money and who helped you. That's not it, man. It's been God. I can't put it any other way. I wish there was like another explanation, but you know, my partners have been with me sometimes when we're like, man, we need 15K right now by tomorrow. The fees pops up, or just anything, things that just happen. Or even, bro, I pray on what artists I bring over here. God, what do you think? God, what do you think? We should be my partner. And I wait on those things. And I'm like, all right, perfect. God, what do you think about this? And I wait on it, and it comes. Boom, okay, perfect. Who do you think I should do? Okay, perfect. And it works. I always tell the young kids, I'm like, it takes a while, brother. I know you're going to jump into this now because you're new to this whole positive God thing and praying. It's not going to happen today. It's not. You're going to probably feel it, but you're nobody going to see it. And you're still going to live in the hood. You still might have to go sell the weed because you're not going to have any money to eat. You still might have to go do what you got to do, but you got to be consistent. And after a while, your life will start changing and God just takes control. And then you start just feeling different. You start thinking different. Like things that you thought were right for a while, they're not. Now you're like, oh, okay. But it takes a while, man. It takes, and I know I don't want to put a timeline on it, but it takes it takes like 4 to 5 years to see God's work. Because it's a physical world. So to get this, you have to move things. You have to the remote to get there, you got to push the remote, but the remote is going to get there. People have to understand that. People ask me, how you do the festival? Well, besides God, I just filled out an application for the parks. But how did you do? Bro, I just went and got the insurance. I just called and I Googled insurance and I had it. Well, then you got the stage. Yeah, I just Googled stages, brother. That's it. This was not look magic. I just pray, God help me. Okay, what else? And just praying and listening, man. You got to have those silent moments where you, like it or not, bro, people like it or not, this is what it is. This is real. If you research all the people that do successful things and last a long time, but I mean by long time is with health, positivity, energy, it's God's the one that's attached. I've watched God knows how many podcasts, how many interviews. I wanted to know the secrets. And the secret's always been like, do stuff with God and work.
Right.
Go, pray and fill out the application.
Yeah. Put in the work.
Once you start doing that, man, everything changes. And I say this from somebody that, man, I remember when I wasn't like that. I remember I had the shades out. When I was doing the promoting, bro, I literally had the shades closed every day. The light bothered me because I was in such a hole. Like the light bothered me, bro. I'm not lying. This is real stuff. I'd go in the living room and I'd look at the windows and I'd close them. And then at night I felt comfortable. Clubs, I felt comfortable. But I'm like going this other way.
Come on, talk that talk.
This is real stuff, bro. I lived with my brother. I kept the shades closed. And then things just started happening. And then my son became more important. And then the shades started open. Now I love the shades open, bro. I need windows everywhere. I need the sun shining. I need that light because that's what it is. That dark, bro, this is real stories.
No, I feel it. Bro, you're bringing the light. You're bringing the light today. I got my shades on.
Listen, brother.
Come on now.
And it took me in this whole other thing. And once you turn around and you start changing, there's no like, I used to be like, God, F you, man. I'm not doing this. You taking everything from angry. And then once you have these changes, and that's why kids are so important in life. We were talking about that because he's like, I don't blame you, but they're the best thing. Because kids are kind of, it's like God, like now with my toddler, bro, I'll have the worst day. And as soon as I get to the toddler, he'll be like, Papi, huggies. I hug him, I'm like, yeah, that's God.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you good? Or when I go talk to my wife and it's a great conversation, or when I got guys like him that I'll roll with you, let's go. Man, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So these are, and this is real, man. I wish people would start listening, but they get so flooded with so many negative things that I wish everybody would understand it. You don't got to be one of those guys that go to church every day and be like, Wednesday and then Friday and Sunday. That's not God. I know some thugs that go to church every other day.
I know some devils that go to church.
Oh, I do too, brother. I know some messed up people that go to church every day. So it's not about that. And the cool thing about it, bro, is that you could do it just you and him.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's the relationship.
You don't have to do
any of that. It's not the religion, it's the relationship.
Yeah, man. You don't have to go to, I get asked to go to churches a lot, and maybe one day I will go to church and I'll become part of that and whatever.
I hope you do.
No, but like I've always said, man, I like my journey with God right now. It's me and the homie. Yeah. I'm sitting here, he behind me. Yeah. Like, yo, we going. Yeah. So right now, I want to build on that and learn a lot so then I can connect to everything in the church.
And the reason I'm saying I hope you do is you got a lot to give to people that are in the church, because the church is nothing but a hospital.
Yeah.
It's just all of us trying
I never thought about that.
It's all of us just trying to get better.
You're right. Dang, bro. That's
what the church is.
Yeah. Where'd you take that from? That's great.
One of my pastors, probably.
Oh, I was like, dang, that's real.
One of my probably Pastor David. Shout out to Pastor David.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's we're a bunch of sinners just going there to get better.
Yeah. Puede cortar el life, please. Yeah, no, but and I just, that's one thing I always preach, bro. It's tough because a lot of kids do listen, but it's younger. But I wish there was any other thing that I can give, like, call this guy or read this, or a lot of that stuff helps. But the base of it all is just having that relationship and just praying and be like, and you gotta believe, bro. Yeah. You gotta believe. You can't pray every day, but you really don't believe. So then you're gonna go do what you gotta do.
That's just jibber jabber.
You just talking, bro.
Ain't nobody even listening.
It's scary, bro. It's scary because you're putting something on a power that you just don't see.
Right. And God knows your heart.
Yeah.
God knows your heart. So when he knows when you're actually praying, he's hearing you. When you're just jibber jabbering, he heard you. But he knows your heart already, so he knows you're not for real on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why when I meet people from like the neighborhoods in the hood and they be going through, I'm like, yo, you a chosen one. The beat up people are the ones that build stuff. The people that don't get beat up, they don't build stuff.
That's who we chose. That's who we chose. Those disciples were all beat up people.
Man, bro, even not to take anything from my son or anything like that or these kids, but a lot of these kids are more privileged now. So it's harder for them to get to some of these places because they haven't got punched in the face 100 times or they haven't been through a lot of stuff. It's great. I'm glad you don't have that trauma. Keep it like that. Stay peaceful. Stay doing your route.
Word.
You know what I mean? But I already understand what's going on. Or maybe you'll get beat up later. Hopefully Dad can protect you from a lot of stuff and you can make the right decisions and you don't have to go through that. Unfortunately, the people that build things are people that got beat up.
Well, he didn't beat him up.
But he
allowed it.
He
allowed it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He let you go through some stuff, man.
Right. Man, I'm loving this conversation. Like we could go on and on speaking, bro, but I'm looking at the time. It's like 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So this has been a great conversation with you, man.
Appreciate you for having me.
Before we leave, can you please tell the people where's the camera? Right here. This is your camera right here. Let the people know about the festival, please, and where they can find tickets and whatnot.
Yeah, no, guys, you can go to prfestivalwisconsin.com. to find tickets. You can also go on Puerto Rican Festival Instagram. You'll find a lot of the stuff on there. I suggest everyone go on prfestival.com and subscribe to our website. It helps us a lot with numbers, and you also get a lot of updated information as it goes. We give out a lot of free tickets on there that throughout June, July. So subscribers will just get random tickets, and you get to just find out the headliners and a lot of stuff that we're doing outside of the festival. Like working in Chicago, we'll be meeting with Janet from the Chambers pretty soon, and a lot of different things that we're doing. So you're invited. We want you guys to come out there, get your tickets. There'll be tickets available at the door if for some reason you can't get them ahead. Come in early. There's a lot of parking. Bring your family and have a good time and shoot us a message. We answer all the messages. If you got any questions when it has to do with parking, and if you're coming from another place, send us an email. We can help you get some hotels set up. We got some discounts for anyone that's coming from out of town.
Awesome. So I got one more question. If there was a new entrepreneur out there, they wanted to start entrepreneurship.
Yep.
What's the best advice you could give them?
So if let's say you're a vendor and you want to go out and you want to be on a vendor, you can go on prfestivalwisconsin.com, fill out the vendor form, and there's a note, and I'll do that today. There's a note on there, like you can put a note, and if you put Flava Podcast on there, we'll give you $100 off your vendor. If you go in the next few days, like we'll do that. If you're listening to Flava for them showing us love, we'll give you $100, or anybody he sends, we'll give you $100 off your vendor space, and we'll work with you.
That's
love.
So
yeah, we want to push all these businesses and entrepreneurship.
You know who's going to jump on that?
Please, everybody.
No,
man.
You know who's going to jump on that.
Yeah.
You know exactly who's going to jump on that.
Yeah, I already know. We want everybody, man, to jump on that.
I want my girl, Suli.
Suli, man. Suli knows. We talked already. Suli's ready to go, man.
I want my girl, Suli, to jump on that.
I love Suli, man. She's a hustler, bro.
She's the one that hooked me up with you, man.
Yep, I love Suli.
Man, she's bananas, man. Me and her are still tight. She's still part of the show. She's just so busy she can't get to the show.
Her energy, man, everything she's got since the first time I talked, and she's just a great person, bro.
Through and through.
Yeah, she is.
Business-wise, if I'm stuck somewhere, I don't call nobody.
Yeah.
But Suli.
She's a beast, bro.
And she'll give me the info right away and the correct info.
Yep.
You know, some people could give you some wrong info.
Yep.
The correct info, and it works out every single time.
Man, we used to talk. We got to talk more. We used to talk a lot, man. When she started the whole Faja thing, we were going back and forth on ideas that she was working on and just things. Man, but those are the people that you got to give that hand to. If you're up, pull that hand down, pull them up.
10-4 on that.
They'll do the same thing.
10-4 on that. So another thing, last thing, next 5 years, what does it look like for you? What does it look like for you?
Next 5 years, we become number 2 festival. Shout out to Chicago, but we're gonna become number 2 after New York.
Get it.
We gonna work this year so we can start having the Raul Alejandros coming to our festival, and we want to be one of the top music festivals in the country, so, promoting Puerto Rican culture. But we want to be the top. We want people to fly out from all over to come to see the artists that we have on stage. We have a huge, massive stage that we can use now. We have the platform for those artists. We got enough space for those artists, so that's our goal, and we want to just give back. We want to be able to come back in a few years and be like, hey, bro, we own 100 acres of land in Puerto Rico. Now the festival does. Let's open a podcast out there and a podcast training school.
Let's go.
That's the goal, man. So that's what we're working on real closely. We're thinking big, and just we want to make it an annual thing for people to come out. We want people to say every September we go out to Milwaukee for the festival.
Taking that drive.
Yeah.
Taking that drive. Cool. And it's a small drive, too. It's not a very long drive. It's an hour drive, maybe hour and 10 drive.
Yep.
Take the drive. It's worth it. I'm going to go out there. I'm getting my own hotel because I want to enjoy the whole entire day out there. And I'll drive back to Chicago in the morning.
Yep.
So definitely going to do that. If people wanted to find you personally, what's your Instagram?
You go to BHM Yussef. That's Ballhead Mafia Yussef.
Okay, I was about to say, what does that mean?
I shaved my head a few years back, and I started a T-shirt company because people used to make fun of me. Like, you bald, and then my brothers and I, we're all bald. So we'll be like, man, it's the Ballhead Mafia, man. And I made a T-shirt, and that's where that came out of. And we sold a whole bunch of T-shirts, bro. And that's a whole other conversation. And we went on Amazon and it kind of blew up for a bit. So then I just Ballhead Mafia Yussef, man, BHM Yussef. But you could also go on my TikTok, No Sleep Yussef. You can see a lot of things that I do on there. Or Facebook always, Yussef Morales, man. I'm real active on Facebook more than I'm on the other ones. But yeah, man, please reach out if you guys got questions. If you're interested in being a vendor, anything we talked about today, man, I'm real easy to get a hold of.
Okay, one more thing. Can you leave us a positive note?
A positive note, I would say, start your mornings off right. Slow down. If you're in a rush, don't worry about it. Make sure you thank God every day and just have those silent moments in your life are the most important moments you can have with just yourself. And if you're looking for an answer, just have silent moments. That's the best thing after a prayer, bro. That's it. And just stay educated. Everybody, we got to get better. We got to, one thing that I push a lot, and I know we're going to get going, is just because we're Puerto Rican, no tiene que ser cafre. no tiene que ser unprofessional. Podemos ser puertorriqueños y podemos hacer las cosas bien y educados y podemos hacer las cosas como se deben de hacer. So just keep learning and stay educated, man.
That's love. Well, this is your boy Los from the Flava Podcast. That was our guest, Yussef Morales. Remember to go to his festival. You might see me. You might see me walking around, you know what I'm saying, with the camera, one of my camera guys. We're going to be there. You be there as well. It's your boy Los. We out.
Appreciate you, man.
We've been having such a long conversation. I know you guys just saw this, that I was about to sign off. I'm not signing off because I got to do the right thing here. And the right thing is to tell this man that he has flavor. Can you please hand that to the man?
Oh, yeah.
You got flavor, my man.
Thanks, brother. This looks actually delicious. I don't cook, but my wife will be using this.
Use that out dope the next time you get your own thing.
For the festival.
You never know. You
should have it. Let me know, because then we could open up a little spot there.
Let's go.
And you might even be able to talk to Ponce and include in her cooking the day of.
Ooh.
And put in the front.
Ooh, fire. That's the entrepreneurship mind right there. All right, man. So we out for real now. Your boy, we're out. Yussef. Shout out Yussef again. There you go.
Let's do it, man.
We're out.